law group. As officers went into that suite, they located the scene of the shooting, and they located our 3 deceased victims. One deceased victim is a female in her 30s. Another one is a male in his 50s. Our suspect is also deceased here on scene, and he is a male in his 70s. What we've learned from the initial briefing is very similar to what has already been reported on the papers, is that there were 7 people here taking part in a deposition inside the Prince Law Group. 3 of them represented one party, 3 of them represented the other part, and 1 was a court reporter. Shortly into the deposition, approximately 3 to 4 minutes, one of the suspects stood up and began opening fire on the 2 victims across the table from it. Unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, they are deceased. They're on scene here, and the suspect is deceased also. The other people who were in the room at the time of the shooting, thankfully, were able to quickly get away, call police, and everyone else has been cooperative and interviewed by police. Please keep them in their prayers, no matter what side of this table they are on at this time. This is a pretty traumatic event, and we believe there is no additional threats at this time based on any evidence we have. Our homicide team is on the scene. They're conducting their investigation. We'll be out here for an extended period of time as we conduct our investigation. Again, all the crime scene pretty much is located in Suite 560. Real quick, for all the people who go to work here at City National Bank, the building here, all of them were evacuated, and they did so very orderly, and they were able to move them over to the Red Rock Casino, who helped us out with containing all of them. We've been slowly but surely escorting people into the building so they can get their belongings and get their car that is here. The only issue is if they work at Suite 560, because then we have a little bit of our crime scene. We're trying to figure out another way to get people in there. But any other suites, if you're here right where I'm briefing this, across the street from me, the entrance to the parking garage, you can go to those officers right there, approach them, tell them that you're here to pick up your property. They'll escort you into the building or escort you to your car to get it. Just please provide some type of credentialing that shows that you belong at the building. With that, I know there's probably a lot of questions here. I'll take any additional questions you may have. Go ahead.
Johansson, how did the gun get into the building and past any security measures?
I don't know right now specifically what security measures are at this building. My preliminary walkthrough, I don't see a specific security desk or anything like that. It's believed that our suspect had it on him at the time he entered the building.
And then earlier they mentioned that they were investigating his car in the parking garage. What was found inside it?
That was a preliminary investigation. So anytime you have a shooting like this, which is possible like an active shooter when it first started, you're always going to be looking for the mode of transportation of how they got there, and then you're going to conduct your evidentiary search warrant to see if there's any evidence that was left inside of the car. Right now, there's nothing of note evidentiary-wise related to what we got out of the car, but we have to go through our steps to ensure that. We got to make sure there's no secondary devices or anything that was left in the car, and then you have the evidentiary back for the criminal investigation. We are serving a search warrant right now, earlier today, and it's still going on right now, at our suspect's residence, which is located in the area of Buffalo and Desert Inn. Our teams are there right now, and we're doing a search there also for any evidence, anything that would explain motive. We believe we have a good idea of what the motive is right now, but anything confirming what that motive is.
Are you releasing any of the names?
I will not be releasing any of the names right now. That is done by the coroner. The coroner releases all information and identities of any victims or any deceased.
Can you tell us any information about what the meeting was that they were meeting here today about?
Based on what our interviews, they were here inside the law group going over doing a deposition hearing that had something that had to do with child custody. Specifically, I don't have all those details, but it had to do with a child custody deposition.
Children potentially involved have been safe? Located?
All children are accounted for, and all children are safe at this time.
We saw a vehicle being towed away like a half an hour ago.
Was it a red Ford Expedition? Yeah, that was the vehicle that I answered the question about, that we processed to make sure. Again, we're taking that to our lot where we're going to secure it for now until we know there's no other evidence related inside that vehicle.
You mentioned that they actually fled the room, the others in the room. At some point, was there any indication that before the gunman shot himself that he was trying to target anybody else in the room before they escaped?
Based on what I have right now, it appears our 2 victims were the very specific targets. He actually shooed another victim away. So I get the impression that 2 victims were very much the intended target during this incident. The other victims that were in the room, everyone thankfully was able to flee further into the building to get away, and that's when we started getting our 911 phone calls.
Can you see how many shots were fired?
That will be part of our investigation. Definitively, we can't right now. Once we get our full scene processed and stuff moved out of the way, and we'll be able to go there. But there's still quite a bit of evidence collection that needs to take place.
Were the victims declared dead on the scene?
Yeah, everyone. There's nobody transported to a hospital. Everyone's declared deceased here on scene.
Do you know what the gun he used was?
I don't have that information yet.
Do you know if the building will be open for business tomorrow?
I'm hoping to have this entire scene processed. At least the only thing I'm worried about is if Suite 560 will be shut down, but the rest of the building will be open up. If that's the case, we'll coordinate with building management and let them know, and we'll keep officers posted here overnight. It just depends on how far we get to tonight and if we need to continue into the morning.
We're hearing that the shooter was the father involved in the child custody dispute. Where is that father, like the son, the other man who was the parent of the child?
He's accounted to. We've spoken to him and we've interviewed him at this point. So, all right. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate your time.